without further ado, let's start. Okay, so today we are all gathered here on a Friday night, 9 p.m. So I hope everyone is relaxing between these circuit breaker measures. Everybody is finally having a rest and you are on a sofa relaxing, watching this. So I try not to make this too heavy for everyone. Let's try to relax and perhaps learn something, and let's have a very interesting discussion later, okay? Do let me know if the volume is okay. So if not, I can speak a little bit louder. Hi, Roy. Okay, so today we are going to talk about this topic, the fact that you want your child to be successful without you worrying. It will be, in other words, you want your child to be able to persevere on, to be motivated in what they are doing, so that you can just, again, sit on the sofa and relax without you worrying, without you thinking, without you having to drive them to work and push them into the bathroom, push them into the badminton practice, push them into piano lessons, and you don't need to do that. Let's see how we can achieve that, okay? So, before we start, we need to come to an agreement with this. I know it's very hard, it's very tough for a lot of people to agree with this, but it is something that we all need to understand. And this is a very simple statement, but it means so much. The more involved you are, the less independent they will be. Why do I say that? Let me give you an analogy. I'm sure most of us has flown a kite before, which is why I use this picture over here. So what does this picture mean? This picture actually shows kite flying. So what is kite flying like? Kite flying, imagine parenting like kite flying. So what is it like? If you were to pull the strings too short, you release a very short amount of string, and you keep running and running and running, pulling the kite around. Do you think the kite can fly? For those of us with experience in kite flying, most likely not, right? So we are not familiar with kite flying because we are all new parents, correct? So how else should we be flying a kite? So when we are flying a kite, it's just like parenting. We need to release the string a little, right? We release the string a little so that when we run with the kite, it will actually gather a little bit of wind, okay? And then it will fly higher and higher, and then we keep tugging and releasing at the same time. So you tug where it's appropriate, and you release where it's appropriate for it to catch more wind, and eventually what happens to the kite? It will soar without your interference ultimately. So this is what successful parenting is about, kite flying. So tug where necessary, release where necessary. And remember, the fact about kite flying is that the more you pull, the lower it gets, and the more hindrance you provide, the easier the kite will fall. Which is why this sentence came in. The more involved you are, the more you tug on the string, the less independent your child will be. And that will in turn lead to their limited success. Okay, so it is a very hard fact because we are all good parents. We all want to do so much for our kids. But the thing is, remember this, the more you do for them, the less they will need to do. Let's imagine this. So you are completely aware of when his 听写 is, or when her homework is due. So you are always reminding him, hey, learn your 听写, learn your 听写, learn your 听写. And you keep repeating it to the point that, okay, he knows that you are aware, you will remind him. And on the day of the 听写, let's say you forgot to remind him. And what is his reason for failing then? He will straight away, number one, you didn't remind me. It's all your fault. That will be very upsetting, isn't it? As a parent, that will break your heart. So, what did we do wrong? Or how can we improve on that? So the number one thing is, if it is no longer our job, it is not our responsibility to remind them of their 听写, whose responsibility will that be then? Precisely, your child's, isn't it? If it's your child's responsibility, they will put it at the back of their head. If they forget, they will know that, okay, I'm responsible for it. So I learned my lesson. So the next time, before 听写, I make sure that I remind myself, my 听写 is coming. So I will have this responsibility of ensuring that, hey, my 听写 is coming, I should learn it. Because if I don't score, who is involved? Who is in trouble? Me. Or rather, who is the one who is going to have a low self-esteem, who's ranking in school will drop, or whichever that he is thinking of. He will take the responsibility onto himself. I know a lot of us, when they come back, okay, in the morning, how many of you are guilty of this? In the morning, you will check his bag, you make sure all his pencil case are inside, and you make sure he is given money. If one day you don't find yourself do that, you forgot, or you end up sick, that will be a very, very bad scenario. And what happens to your child? Will your child know how to pack his bag? Will your child know what is missing in the bag? Or will your child forget to take his own pocket money? All these things will happen if you are too involved. So, parents, daddy, mommy, I'm giving you the license to break free. Be on your own. Have your own free time. The moment you stop doing these things for your kids, there is a high chance they will become more independent from you. If you don't believe me, don't worry, go for it, okay? You can take a test, okay? You can give yourself a trial. Let's say you tell your kid, okay, tomorrow mommy is going to be in bed for a little longer. I'm not feeling well. I'm quite sick. I'm having fever or blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever you want to say. Try it out, okay? You can tell your kid, remember, kite flying is a little bit of tugging. A little bit of tugging means you're giving a little bit of guidance, right? Okay, then eventually you must let the kite go, right? You must release it at the same time. So parenting, exactly like that. Tug a little, release a little, tug a little, release a little. Okay, so tell your child, okay, this is what's going to happen tomorrow. So you will need to remember how to do this. When it happens, you are on your own. Let's see what happens after that. And perhaps from then on, you can start to really take a step back, lie down on the sofa, and relax every night. I wish you all the best in that. But why do I say all these things? Where did all this come from? You see, I shared the motivation theory last week. If you want more details, there's actually a lot more details. I actually shared it on our Facebook page. You can watch our live for last week, and you can also check out our slides from last week. Do like our Facebook page so that you can be informed. We also have our YouTube channel over here. Do subscribe to it and like our videos so that you can be informed of new videos that's going up. Okay, so let's recap the motivation theory. So what is it about? A motivation, it means there are absolutely no motivation to do anything that you want them to do. So the only way to get them from a motivation to extrinsic motivation will be to give them the external push to do what you want them to do. So the list of the things that you can do is perhaps punishment and reward. That is the lowest level of extrinsic motivation. But the lowest level of extrinsic motivation, the bad point is that the moment you take away them, you take away the reward, you take away the punishment, the activity stops instantly. Your child will no longer be bothered to do anything. Okay? But there are also good extrinsic motivation, which includes, for example, I want to study because my daddy will be proud of me. I want to study so that I can have a higher ranking in class. I want to study so that it can make me a better person. All of these are examples of higher extrinsic motivation. But the same thing, the moment you remove them, there is a possibility of the activity stopping. Okay? Although the possibility of it stopping is not as high as the lower end of the extrinsic motivation, there is still a possibility. So what is intrinsic motivation then? Intrinsic motivation means they do the activity for the sake of the activity. So for example, they study because they love studying. If only all children are like that, right? There is a research that actually says all children are born to love learning. Reason being, because if they don't learn, they cannot survive. Men are made from that. The moment the baby comes out, they are born to absorb. For the first 2 years of their life, they are born to have the superpower, superhuman power of learning. because they need to survive. They need to understand mommy, daddy's expression. They need to understand mommy, daddy's instructions. They need to understand when the food comes, what they're supposed to do. They need to know how to chew. They need to be able to handle things. They need to be able to walk, because these are survival instincts. So children are born to love learning. Or rather, maybe it's not love. You can argue that it's not love, but they need to learn because it's a basic survival instinct. So no children will be born to tell you, I hate learning. Okay? It is not that extreme. But how did it happen? What happened along the way that made them not want to learn anymore? It's because of the mundaneness, it's because of the routine, it's because they just don't enjoy the activity, because we have taken away this intrinsic motivation of theirs by putting in the external factors that pushes them into the extrinsic motivation. Okay? So when you, as a parent, goes in, you become the reward, you become the punisher, you become the reason for them to study. You bring down their intrinsic motivation to study, or even to learn piano, or to become better in badminton. Examples. Okay? So once their motivation, the intrinsic motivation moves downwards, or even right from the start, they say they don't want to learn piano, but you insist, you give them rewards, you say, you learn, mommy bring you somewhere, Disneyland in Japan or something, and their motivation comes here. But the moment you remove that, it drops back. But unless you can make them slowly develop the interest such that they move here, then that will be the perfect situation. For them to enjoy, let's say, example, the music, the playing of the piano, the ding ding dang dang ding ding dang that they really enjoy. That is pure enjoyment of the activity. But rarely does that happen when their interest is not there in the first place. So where did this interest come from? How do you make sure they persist? Okay? So let's go to the next slide. How do we ensure children persist? If you want them to persist, you want them to do something out of their own, you need to allow them to learn how to develop, how to reach there. You see, so what is this title? Develop one passion. Why one? What is the meaning of passion? And what is the difference between passion and interest? Interest. I can be interested in traveling around the world. Every time during school holiday, I'll bring my family to go traveling, and it's very interesting, you see. But if I want to develop a passion in traveling, what is the difference? The difference will be that I aim to improve my interest every time I engage in it. There is an aim, there is an objective, there is a purpose, there is a drive to want to improve on it. That is a passion. So let's say you have a passion for gaming. No problem. It means you will want to improve on your gaming skills every single time you engage in. That's passion. You have a passion for music, you have a passion for piano. That means you will want to improve on it without anyone chasing after you. The moment you're free, you want to engage in the activity. That's passion. But what is interest? Interest just means, I'm interested in playing poker because I just want to have it as an entertainment with my friends. Whenever we're free, we meet up to play poker together. That's an interest. You have no interest in developing it as a passion. You have no interest in improving it so that you can win a lot of money. No, it is not. It is just an interest. So that's the difference between interest and passion. So you want your child to develop a passion. Why? Because when they develop one passion, that one passion will teach them how to improve on themselves. As long as they know how to improve on themselves, on their skills, on their knowledge, they learn it and they will be able to apply it across board, every other thing that they do. Because developing a passion is a life skill. I give you examples. So I have children who love reading Young Scientists, and the parents will come complaining to me. The only thing that he reads is Young Scientists. He doesn't know how to write compo because he doesn't read storybooks. And I asked the parent, what's wrong? Of course I know what's wrong, right? Because their concern is that they can't write composition well, right? Okay, that's a problem. But what's wrong with loving to read Young Scientists? So the mom said, he's so involved, he knows every single fact in Young Scientists. To me, All these are alarm bell, ding, 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 ding. This child is most likely talented in science. What is the issue here? The child is passionate in science, and the mummy thinks that it is his weakness that is hindering his progress in other subjects. Therefore, at this moment of time, I will tell the mummy, look, your child has a particular passion for science, and therefore he reads a lot of young scientists. Why don't you tap on this passion of his to improve on his other prospects, other subjects, or other things that you want him to learn in life? Okay, so develop his passion, give him all the young scientists that he wants, use it as a reward. The conditioning will be that the moment he does something, you give him the young scientists as a reward, he will love young scientists even more, because it is a reward, it is associated, it is conditioned to be a positive feeling. Okay, so when this positive feeling goes in, this young scientist, this scientific urge for knowledge, okay, this urge for knowledge becomes so desirable that he will become better and better and better. Eventually, your child might become a scientist, who knows? Right? They might be working for A-Star one day as a scholar. So that is what I mean by passion. When you develop one passion, your child will use that learning of a life skill to apply on other things. So he's not good in compo. So you can tell your child, okay, so you see, you have been reading Young Scientists, you improve from a normal science knowledge student to one that is a mastery and expert in science. So you see, if you work very hard, if you read on a lot, you will become an expert in the content. Why don't you do so for compo? If you read up enough, you will be able to write a decent compo, right, son? From there, you allow the child to reflect. Okay, so how did I improve on my science? Okay, I did this, I did that, I read a lot and blah, 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 blah. Perhaps if I do just 10% of my effort on my compo, I will be able to do better in my compo, and mommy will be nagging me less, and then, you know, this thought process will come in. So, allow your child, help your child to develop one passion. That's why I chose this photo over here. Your child will not be able to develop a passion independently. Okay, remember the kite flying? It must always be a pull and a release and a pull and a release, just like climbing a mountain. Your child will not be able to climb to the peak without your assistance. You need to be there once in a while. Provide the help that they need. Okay, just like this picture. So as you help them develop that passion, you will realize they will be able to apply this life skill across board and be able to achieve ultimately what you want them to, yet they are independent learners because they have a passion. This is very important, especially for secondary school kids. You see, a lot of secondary school kids, by the time they reach adolescence, they get very, very jaded, studying and studying. PSLE is over, they want to burn their books. When they reach secondary school, they realize there's more subjects to take, but they are all new, they are overwhelmed, and they don't know where to start. They don't have an anchor for them to hold on to. They don't have a passion. They don't know that they can be good at one thing. The only thing that they know is that they suck at all. And what happens? At adolescent age, that is the age that they find themselves. They try to gain confidence. They try to understand, who am I? What am I doing in this society? How can I contribute? What can I do to attract attention? I want people to notice me, but what can I do? And you will see a lot of deviant behaviors coming out, like taking drugs and joining gangs and getting into fights and things like that. So if you can help your child from a very young age find one passion, when they grow up, in adolescence age especially, they will most likely be able to use this one anchor as the anchor in their heart, as the anchor in their self-confidence, as an anchor in themselves as a person, and find where they stand in society. And you will have a lower risk of deviant behaviors. Okay? Another thing, reinforce the growth mindset. Where did this growth mindset come from? The growth mindset came from a research by Carol Dweck, okay, one of the famous researchers in this growth mindset. What is the difference between growth mindset and the opposite would be the fixed mindset? Okay, the fixed mindset is that you believe you are good in something because you're born with it. You're talented in it. So, in a way, you are telling yourself, there's no way I can improve because I'm born like that. That is the fixed mindset. But for the growth mindset, people with a growth mindset, what they will be thinking is, I suck at this because I didn't work hard enough. I'm not diligent enough. I didn't try hard enough. But can I improve? Yes. Because if I put in more effort, if I work harder, if I try more, if I put in a little bit more time and I persevere on, perhaps I can make it. You see, this is why passion is important, because as you are developing your passion, you will have this perseverance thing going on inside your mind. Constantly, you're practicing this, improving on it again and again and again. So this helps your growth mindset. This helps to convince you that a growth mindset will help you to improve. Okay? So this growth mindset is heavily researched on from 4 years old study group to a medicine study group to even a 13-year-old, okay, adolescent. So every single age group has been tested on before. So what they test is very consistently the same thing. They will test this group of students, 4 years old, be it 4 years old, or medicine students or 13 years old adolescents. They will test them to differentiate them who has fixed mindset, who has growth mindset. And they will always find the consistent result that those with a fixed mindset ultimately scores worse than those with a growth mindset. Those with a growth mindset they believe in perseverance, they believe in determination, they believe if they put in the effort, they will get better. And therefore, they do get better in the end. So this is what growth mindset can help you in. This is a neurological mapping that comes from one of the research that was done in 2011. So this mapping shows you the response to error. So the group of students who actually has a fixed mindset, they did a neuroimaging and they realized students who has a fixed mindset has a neuroimaging of no active neurological impulses when they are responding to the errors that they make, which means the moment they make an error, they stop thinking. Amazing, isn't it? Have you ever thought of it this way? Neurologically, these are the impulses in their brain. They just stop thinking. They made an error, or oops, okay, I can't do that, and they stop. So what about students with a growth mindset? It's different color, you notice? The red color shows active impulses in the brain. So students with a growth mindset, they know that, okay, something is wrong. Let's think about how to solve this. They will consistently be engaging in neurological activities in order to come up with a new set of solutions, in order to strive for the answer that they want. And this is such a powerful image, which is why I want to show you. If you have a fixed mindset, your response to error is nearly zero. Okay, very low, let's put it this way, low percentage. If you have a growth mindset, your response to errors is very, very high, which means you will likely want to solve the problem at hand. Therefore, a growth mindset is very, very important. So, how do you encourage a growth mindset? Can it be changed? Yes. The good news is, if your child is having a fixed mindset now, it can be changed. A study on a 13-year-old, in fact, from the adolescent group, they realized that they put the kids through intervention. So they keep telling them, hey, look, you can be smarter if you put in a little bit more effort and so on. So they put the kids into this intervention group. The other group without intervention and having a fixed mindset versus the group with fixed mindset but with intervention. What happens is that the group with intervention ultimately scored better than those without intervention, because they started realizing, hey, I can get better. Hey, if I put in more effort, I can improve. This study tells you that mindset can be changed. So everybody from here, even you and I, the moment we adopt the growth mindset, we can start improving. We can start becoming better. You can do what you want. Okay, daddy, mommy? Growth mindset. Okay, so this is something hard. I have always been telling the parents of my students, allow your child to fail. And most of them, they will always look at me like, huh? Okay, you see, because I'm an enrichment teacher, I run an enrichment center, parents outsource their kids to me and ask me to teach their kids so that their kids won't fail, right? But ultimately, sometimes, some children, I'll tell their parents, you need to let him fail once. Why? Because it is only through failure that the kid will develop the neurological enhancement in the brain that, okay, because I failed, how do I bounce back? You see, human beings' survival instinct is that strong. If I fail, the first thought wouldn't come to my mind that I need to kill myself. No, that is not the first natural thought. Only in extreme cases, yes. Okay, so the first natural thought is, how do I bounce back? How do I get better? If your child has never failed before, they will never need to think in that way. And the neurological mapping will never happen because they have never failed before. You see? So, which is why I chose this picture. What does this show you? If you have never came across a gap like that, would you ever realize you can jump over like that? Correct? So, by jumping across this barrier, this problem that you face, this hardship, this failure, you learn that, hey, I can do that. Hey, I can overcome that. So the next time you come across a gap like that, you say, hey, I've done that before. Let me do it again. No problem if I fail. Jack Ma, give you an example. Okay? Failed 30 job interviews. He was rejected 30 times. He was rejected by Harvard 10 times. Steve Jobs, he was removed from his own company before he actually went on to build Apple today. Okay? Bill Gates dropped out from high school. Even me, myself, I have failed in my entry to university. Can't believe it, right? Okay, so this is a real life person over here. Jack Ma and Steve Jobs might be somebody far away from you. You might not know them. So I have failed my A-levels before. So what happened? From my failed A-levels, I went on into the diploma in NIE. And as a diploma holder, I went out to work in MOE as a teacher for a few years. And what happened? With a diploma holder, my increment was comparatively to the degree holders a little bit lower. Okay, promotion chances a little bit lower. I shall not go into details. I'm not an MOE speaker. Okay, so basically a little bit of hardship went through, and I resorted to myself. I told myself, hey, let's do this again. Let's retake my A-levels. But my second chance didn't come easy. What happened was when I retook my A-levels, which I went through night classes, I went to tuition myself, okay, to pick up on my A-levels again. So what happened was on the week of my A-level exam, I was down with pneumonia. Life is such, isn't it? Okay, so it was tough. And I really struggled through. And ultimately, guess what? I didn't do well again because I was having 42 degrees Celsius fever for my A-levels the entire 2 weeks. And what happened was I finally squeezed back into NTU through appeal, okay, using my case of my pneumonia. So by the time I went into NTU, I told myself, look, Clarice, get this right once and for all. If not, you're going to be a failure the rest of your life. This is what I told myself at least, okay? And therefore, for the next 4 years in NTU, I worked like mad. Because of my failure, I told myself, first class or nothing, and I got it. Therefore, coming from personal experience, I'm telling you, mommy, daddy, allow your child to fail. You wouldn't want your child to fail later in life, then allow your child to fail early in life. My parents didn't allow me to fail. I had tuition. I was a naughty kid. Okay, the reason why I failed my A-levels was because I was very, very naughty. I wasn't studying at all. And it had always been the fact that by the time I reached my final year exam, like PSLE and Sec 4 and all that, I was sent for tuition. And I got an easy way out. I always score well. And by the time A-levels, I told my parents, no need, it's okay, I don't need tuition. And look what happened, I failed. So, if you don't want your kids to fail later in life, let them fail early in life. It doesn't have to be big failure. I mean, you're going to get your heart rate pumping and you're going to ask my kid to fail PSI. No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that you give them a little bit more allowance, release the kite, the string of the kite a little, so that they will grow some wings for themselves, so that they will find ways to fly independent of you. Okay? So, from here, if you can't remember anything that I said, okay, what should you do? Brainstorm with your child. Get together with your child, decide on the passion that he wants to build. You must agree, or rather, try to come to a common ground. I shall not say you must agree to everything that your child wants to develop. What if it's something deviant? I shall not say that, okay? Come to a common ground through discussion with your child. It must be willing, he must be the interested party. It mustn't come from you. Because it comes from you, it will never be a passion. It might become an interest, but it will never become a passion because you are the external factor. The interest will always remain as an intrinsic motivation. Okay? So brainstorm with your child, come to a common ground, agree on what you guys want to work on together to develop that one passion. Let's not be too greedy. If you want more than 1, 2, and 3, and 4, I'll leave it to you and your child to decide, but I would recommend just one. Focus on that one. Be a master of that one. A jack of all trades is fine. Share success stories. My story, share with your kids. You can share Jack Ma's story. You can share Steve Jobs' story. You can share Bill Gates' story. There's so many stories out there of celebrities who rags to riches and Keanu Reeves, all these stories. Share with them. Let them know about the grower's mindset. Remember that everybody can improve with determination, with effort. Praise them on their determination. Praise them on their effort. Do not focus on the result. For example, after they came back from an annual sports meet, the first thing you ask them, how? Did you win any medals? Do not do that, parents. Don't do that. What you should focus on is the effort. So, how was your run today? Did you try your best? It's like, yeah, mommy, but I lost. Oh, let's celebrate your input of your effort. Wow, you put in your best, isn't it? It doesn't matter that other people is better than you. What's most important is that you put in your effort. And you will become better one day because you put in the hard work. That is how you should talk to your kids. Focus on the effort. Never the outcome. Even if they come home and say, Mommy, I didn't get first in class. I got 3, I got 3rd, okay? Or I got 10th, or 15th. Focus on the effort. Did you try your best this time around? What happened? Could you have done better? Perhaps you can work on the timetable to improve on it. This is how you can talk to your child. Focus on the effort. Share success stories, catch teaching opportunities, highlight on the hard part. So let's say you come across somebody from rags to riches, you were reading some articles and all that, perhaps this little child who was an app developer from young and then ultimately making his first million at 30 years old or something like that. Any articles that you come across. Hey, look, son, take a look at this article. This child made it from rags to riches in 20 years' time. Wow, by 20 years old, he's already a millionaire, or by 30 years old, he's already a millionaire. Wow, he must have put in a lot of hard work. He must have worked very hard for it. He must have been very determined. You see, we go through failures, we go through hiccups in life, but ultimately we will get there if we really work hard towards it. This is how you can talk to your child. Lastly, I know this one is a most feared method. Role model. Be a positive role model. If you do not find yourself having a passion, no problem. Role model it now, okay? If you want to, find a passion for yourself. If not, show interest, okay? Because the only way for you to teach your child a life skill, will be to show it through actions. Because you can hardly be the one who, imagine a general leading you, okay, or your boss leading you, and your boss keeps telling you, hey, you must aim for high standard, but his standard is actually only here. Would you actually follow that general? Would you actually follow that boss of yours? So, role model, if you can, where possible. It's tough, I understand, okay, but try. Role modeling does help. Because remember the picture whereby the parent is holding the child up to climb up the mountain? The better you are, the higher you are in your position in helping your child, the clearer the path that you show your child, the better, the easier, or rather the faster your child can reach the goal. But remember the kite, okay? So a lot of things to remember. Tuck and let go, tuck and let go, okay? That's the key to encouraging perseverance in your kids. Okay, I'm done for today. We can go on to some Q&A now, okay? I can see some comments here. Wow, you are such a motivational speaker. Thank you, Farin Song. Oh, make my day. Okay, is there any question? Hi, Samantha. Hello. Let me just scroll back. Nisha. Hi, Naina. Wow. Naina, you're here. Hello. Michaela. Hi, Michaela. And Mommy, right? Mommy is here also. Hi, Kian and Mommy. Hello, Jiaxing and Mommy. Hi, Roy. Thank you. You look good. Oh, thank you so much. Any questions for today? I'll just wait a little while. If I have any questions, do let me know. I can answer it. If not offline, I can also continue to answer. Actually, this topic came about from a question last week. Somebody was asking me, how do I ensure perseverance in my child, which is why I came up with this. Okay, so if you have any suggestions for any topics, do let me know. Put it on our Facebook and I can share it. Maybe towards, maybe for the next week or the next weeks. Okay, I'll see you next Friday, 9 p.m. same time. Okay, tune in again. Do like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can be informed of anything new. Okay, where is my YouTube channel? Let me show you. Here. Okay, YouTube channels link over here, everybody. Do like our YouTube page so that you can be informed of our new uploads. Oh, Jiaxing's mommy, you let go, she let go too. Mommy, there is gonna be a time period, okay? She will let go, definitely she will let go. But because this is like, what do you call that? You know, flying a kite? When you let go too much at one time, the kite will drop, okay? So try it this way, a little, and as you are letting go, keep reminding her, okay? I'm sure she is she's gaining maturity, okay? She is a young lady now, so she's gaining maturity. Talk to her, let her know how much you're letting go and how much she needs to pick up. And when you let go, you really tell her, when I'm letting go, I'm really letting go, you're on your own. But also, however, this PSLE period, so you might want to do this a little bit more carefully, really plan it out with her, okay? Brainstorm, that's why it's very important. You need to come to a decision together, a consensus together, okay? So let's work on this, little by little, and tell her, this is what I'm letting go, you need to pick up on this. And then you come up with a timetable to work on it together, okay? Yeah, hopefully it works. Let me know again. We can privately chat on this, right? Okay, thank you so much. That's all for tonight. I hope to see you again next Friday. Bye-bye.